Hello everyone and welcome to the Vegan Runners AGM 2020. My name's Tom Budgen, I am club chairperson. Thank you for joining me on this cold and wet day, so close to Christmas, and thank you very much for bearing with the club during this difficult time. We've been trying to get the AGM out for quite a while. As I'm sure you can appreciate and understand, it takes a while to get all the bits and pieces necessary to bring it all together. Just want to take a moment to thank all the volunteers, from Martin Pern all the way down to the individual reps across the country, to Denise King, to the treasurer, to everyone who's kind of helped put this AGM together for this virtual AGM this year. Of course, normally we'd be getting together in person, and the plans were to do so in Bristol in the spring. Due to the COVID situation this year, that hasn't happened. So the club has been forced to do a virtual AGM for the first time in its history. Now, I always thought to myself that I was quite a tech savvy person until all of this happened, and then I realized that I'm not as tech savvy as I think I am. So throughout this presentation, please bear with me. My computer doesn't like some of the things that the presentation tries to do, so I'll be coming out of the PowerPoint and going into individual videos, for instance, and then during those transitions I just ask that you remain patient with me. I'm sure there are people out there who will be watching this thinking, oh, you should have done that, you could have done that instead, that would have been much easier. Unfortunately, I don't know those ways, so I'm going to stick to what I know, even though it might be a little bit slower. So the AGM. Presentation. We've got slides from the club secretary, the club treasurer, all the representatives from all the regions across the country. We've got the welfare update. We have the results of the poll that Martin put out a few weeks ago. We have videos to share and celebrate some of the accomplishments some of our runners have done this year, because it has been a very difficult year for many of us, and we could talk about that an awful lot, but it's also time to celebrate what our members have done through this very difficult year as well. So without further ado, let's continue our journey. That was my welcome spiel. So this is a PowerPoint. Now, I'm sure many of you through work-based training, or maybe you remember from your time at school, what I as a teacher like to call death by PowerPoint. That's not what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully the presentation will be about an hour long, give or take. I really appreciate how, as I say, all the volunteers have pulled all this information together, and Martin has put this into a really good PowerPoint. There'll be times where I'm not going to read every single bit of information on the slide, but I will encourage you to pause and read at your leisure, should you wish to. So that's how I'm going to kind of work it today. So yeah, let's rock and or roll. So just some minutes and matters arising from the 2019 AGM. Just want to say a big thank you for all the club volunteers who have assisted the club over the last year. We really can't stress this enough. Without these volunteers, the club would not exist. It's all in the word volunteer. We give up our time, unpaid, to help the club that we all will have a massive passion for. So a massive thank you to all of you guys who have helped this year. Yeah, without you guys, the year would have been much tougher than it's already been. So we've just got some incomplete actions from our last AGM. Revolving the junior membership, which was proposed by Peter. This was to introduce a junior membership program. However, anyone who works with children will know that when you deal with anything to do with children, those under the age of 18, there's a lot of safeguarding work that needs to be done. And so we're just making sure that we've got adequate welfare resources in place to enable us to do this effectively and safely. We're also in the process of uploading profiles onto the website. I know I've been chasing the volunteers during the year to get their profiles updated, and we're going to be updating those as and when we can. So that's all outstanding bits and pieces from the 2019 AGM at Sheffield, which was a fantastic weekend. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that this weekend, but it is what it is. So just a quick overview of the schedule for today. We've first got the club secretary report. That's the report from Martin Pern. Then we've got a little video from Fiona. This is where my technical skills are going to be put to the test. We've got the treasure report, we've got the membership report, we've got some more achievements there, the welfare report, we've got some, there's a really fantastic piece about the Isle of Wight adventure, we've got the regional reports, some bits and bobs there as well. So what we'll do is we'll go through them all. As I say, I won't read everything on every slide. That's not to say it's not important, it's just to keep things moving at an orderly pace, and you are more than welcome to pause the video at any time just to kind of assimilate the information that is on the slide. So let us begin, shall we? The club sec report from Martin. So just some bits and pieces to let you know here. The club will re-affiliate with England Athletics, and the club will also affiliate with the Sussex County Athletic Association. So training, we continue to support the funding of run leader courses in local areas, and the newly appointed training secretary will be continuing to develop this in all areas required. The training sec is also creating some useful training plans and guides, which will be uploaded to a new training section of the website. So if you're interested in doing a run leader course, the club will provide financial assistance for that to happen. Just contact the new training secretary, who will be more than happy to point you in the right direction. We've done a lot of work for charity this year. The club continues to support the Tower Hills and the great work that Fiona is doing at the sanctuary. We have further plans to fundraise in 2021, when we're hopeful we'll be able to have some actual real life in-person events, subject of course to the COVID restrictions. So we've just got a new idea here. The club is going to start promoting a Member of the Month scheme to recognise achievements from members and to provide performance details of some of our elite and competitive runners. So of course we are a club that has some real elite and competitive runners, so we want to celebrate and share their achievements, but also to recognise the achievements from all of our members, because we are an inclusive club. We have people that can run a 5k in under 20 minutes, and we have people that can't run a 5k in under 20 minutes or half an hour, and you know what, that's absolutely fine. 5k is 5k, and we want to celebrate those achievements regardless of how fast you run your 5, 10 Ks or half marathons or marathons, because that's what we're all about. So the London Marathon. So this year, I say this year, next year in 2021, we will have a maximum of 4 places provided for the London Marathon. Registration for these will be in late March 2021. Because of the rescheduling of the event, of the race day, sorry, into October. Just to let you know, if you were interested in that, the criteria for a member to be put forward for one of those places is, as it always is, you must be a fully paid up member with the club as your first claim club, and you have to have been a member for 12 months, a year. You should agree to wear the Vegan Runners UK club clothing during the marathon, very important. You haven't previously been allocated a club place in the London Marathon before, and you should have applied through the ballot system and failed to receive a place, and we will require evidence of that. We'll send out more information in March when once the places have started being confirmed. So a bit of exciting news for us in the committee was that this year we thought it would be prudent to seek extra protection and image rights of the club. So we decided to apply for trademark of the club logo and name, and it has been a very long process, but we are happy to announce that as of now the club holds the registered trademark for the name Vegan Runners. Just a massive shout out to Bryn, who has worked really hard to get this in place. And you might be questioning, why do we need to have a trademark name and kit? This means that in the event of someone bootlegging our kit, we can legally challenge them and prevent them making further kit. Looking at you here, carnivore runners, you may be familiar that a very very highly intelligent group of people were selling Carnivore Runners t-shirts on Amazon, and we had no right to really challenge them because we didn't have anything legal documentation to do so. But now we do have that. We can challenge them and we can get those things removed. Hooray! And it also includes the club logo and color combination. And if you would like to, you can follow the link down below, and you can check out our trademark register and our registration number. And there you are. There it is. There's our trademark. Boom. Well done, Bryn, and well done everyone involved of making this happen. Take that, Carnivore Runners. So I love this name. This is like, I think that if the Avengers were to be rebranded, I think it should be called the International Vegan Force. So if you don't know, we were contacted by a group of vegan runners from Germany who were reaching out to various vegan running and sports clubs with a view to collaborating and raising the profile of our clubs and veganism in general. So we have a list of all the different running clubs there. So you can see that it goes from Spain, Poland, Germany, the Netherlands, Italy, Spain again, Canada, the UK, obviously. And there were some meetings that members of the committee attended, and they came up with this amazing idea that we should raise awareness by attempting to do a World Vegan Day virtual run. And the aim was to see what distance we could be, what could be ran over the weekend in November. And collectively, they ran a distance of, we ran a distance of 11,572 kilometers, which is equivalent to over the distance from Portugal to Tokyo. So that's a phenomenal distance to have run. So well done everyone who took part in that. A big well done. That's a huge distance. I certainly could not run that distance myself, but maybe John could. Maybe John. So the results are in. Okay, so Martin a few weeks ago put together a poll that we shared with our members via Facebook, where they could vote on the proposals. So we have a list of those proposals here, and at the end you can see if they've been passed or not. I'll read them out to you. So the first proposal was to combine EA and club membership as a single role again, but create a membership admin role to support the membership secretary at peak times. And that was proposed by Peter, and it was passed. Proposal 2, create a web content editor role to provide a blog style update to the website. Potential replaces news editor role, proposed by Ellie, which was also passed. Proposal 3, which was to split Scotland and the Northern Ireland regional rep role into two positions because there's a massive physical distance between these areas. Only one of those roles would become a committee position. That was proposed by Martin, and that was passed. Proposal 4, to hold the 2021 AGM in Bristol as previously planned and voted for by the members to happen in 2020. This is of course subject to COVID restrictions and the regional team still wishing to put the weekend on. That was proposed by Martin Pern, and it was also passed. So that means that the 2021 AGM, all being well, will be held in Bristol, assuming the team still wish to put together the weekend, and of course that we have some semblance of normality. Proposal 5, potential to combine the press sec role with news editor role. That was proposed by Martin, which was also passed. Continue the proxy voting system and instead do an online poll to gain the views of all members, not those just in attendance of the AGM, as proposed as we have done this year, which was proposed by Martin, which was passed. So going forward, we'll have no more of those proxy voting systems where someone would attend the AGM with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 plus votes of other members. It will all be done via online polls if you cannot attend the AGM. Proposal number 7, mental health ambassador roles. So that's to become committee roles. That was proposed by Denise, which was passed. Proposal 8, VR to switch to bamboo-based clothing, removing all polyester from the shop. That was proposed by Kat, and that has been passed. Proposal 9, web shop to include material information on kit to allow members to have an informed choice. That's passed, and that's by Kat again. Proposal 10, split the Channel Islands and Southwest regional rep role to 2 positions. As once again, as we saw with Scotland and Northern Ireland, there's a massive physical distance between these 2 areas. That was proposed by Rich, and that's been passed. Proposal 11, split the Wales and West Midlands regional roles into 2 positions. Again, big physical distance, and that would just serve the regions better. That's proposed by Bryn, and that too has been passed. Proposal 12, create an equality, diversity and inclusion role within the club to ensure the members, to ensure the club is meeting the needs of all members and potential new members in regards to inclusion and discrimination, and encourage all sections of society to participate in running. That was proposed by Rich, and that has also been passed. So far, so good. All the motions have been passed, and some really good ideas coming through there as well. And here we've just got an updated report on the volunteer roles. So as you can see, looking down here, we've got all the roles, some changes. I will no longer be in the role of chairperson, and that will be taken over by Matt Lena. So congratulations, Matt Lena. I know you'll do an amazing job. A few of these roles, we're still waiting on a few people to get back to us. So these are potential liable to change. However, we will, of course, keep you updated to that. But for the most part, all these roles are now the roles going forward into 2021. There's only potentially 1 or 2 roles that myself and Martin are currently in the position of making sure that we know who exactly is going to be in each role. So, as I say, we will keep you updated. I'm not going to read everyone's name out. That sounds really horrible, I know, but again, you can pause the video here and you can just have a quick scan down to see those names and those roles, and then I'll quickly move on to the next parts here. So we have representatives from each of the roles. The regional representative. Get your words out, Tom. The regional representatives. So again, if you'd like to pause that and have a go, have a scroll down there. Massive thank you to all the volunteers who are volunteering their time and energy to help the club move forward. And some more roles here for you as well, including a new club nutritionist. And we've created a new role here, branding and design secretary for Martin Sidespiller. Again, if you would like to pause those and just reflect on those, that's absolutely fine. And once again, I'll say a massive thank you to all those people who put their names forward and they were willing to help our club. I said it before, at the very beginning of the video, and I'll say it again. Without these volunteers, the club just simply doesn't exist. And I must say a massive thank you to everyone who's continued in their role, and a massive thank you to any of those who are stepping away for their role, regardless of the reasons for those. So big congratulations to people that are the people that are now coming in to fill those roles, and we shall move on. Oops, I tell a lie. There are some more roles there. Okay, so this is a video from Fiona Oakes and Percy Bear.
Hi everyone, it's Fiona here. Martin asked me to make a short video for club members for the AGM. A lot of people probably don't even know who I am, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself, and of course Percy, who is the real character, the really important one. And I must say that I'm not very good or very confident at making videos, because like who's going to want to listen to me waffling on kind of thing. But as we all know, our hero Percy is not backward in coming forward, so he offered to step in and help. So firstly, where has 2020 gone? I don't know. I've been looking for it everywhere, and I've decided it just must have vanished in front of me. It's been a really, really, really difficult year for everyone. I know I've had all sorts of problems going along the way, and it's just made me realise how important the club is to a lot of people, the support network it offers, the support network it's offered to me and various members, writing and just been really encouraging, and the kindness that people and the love that they've shown each other through this pandemic. I know when it started back in April, none of us actually could have foreseen what was going to happen. It's been ups and downs, and it's just made me realise particularly what a global community we are and how we can help each other. I know I was really upset at the beginning of it. I missed a couple of the England races. Then there was the big meet up in Bristol, the Marathon des Sables. But it's just about trying to turn things to the positive. So I did my own little Marathon des Sables in April, and I was able to take videos of runs to cheer up people who were not as lucky as me. I mean, I'm very lucky. I live rurally, so I could get out and send those to I've got friends in Spain who were completely and utterly locked down. So it's just about trying to make positive things out of what seemingly horrendous things. So to tell you a little bit about myself and what we do here, Percy and I. Everybody asks for training tips. Well, here we are in my gym. This is my bit of the gym, isn't it, Percy? I'll show you Percy's bit in a minute, because that's what we're all interested in. So this is, yes, that's a giant polar bear. Yes, that is a giant polar bear. He's my coach. So I've got my big treadmill and various machines of torture that I use. And so that's my bit of the gym, and this is Percy's bit of the gym. We're just walking around his punch bag to see Percy's bit of the gym. Here he is. This is Percy, how he trains. So what we've got here is, everyone knows that Percy is very modest. So he likes to spend his afternoons with his adoring fans, ever-growing number of adoring fans. This is Hamish. And this is his little friend, Fernando. And somebody's absolutely spoiled him. A member of Vegan Runners, might I add, sent him all these sweets, and typically in an afternoon he likes to sit down and watch his film whilst reciting stories from his book. So you can see what Percy's like. My life, yeah, I've got all the animals to look after, I've got all the training to do, but him, that's a handful and a half. That's just one step too far. So, mainly what I do, people laugh and say, I really don't consider myself much of a runner, and I'm not. I just run to promote veganism and the sanctuary. And a lot of people don't know, or might not know, that I actually run an animal sanctuary. That's mainly what I do. It's been a traumatic year. We've moved now. I've moved the sanctuary with my parents up to Graysdale site, which is much bigger. And it's been a kind of different year in that I never expected to be doing the things I'm doing. So I'm asked to do a lot of podcasts and a lot of talks. And I don't believe it or not, because I'm not that confident when I'm talking. It's really hard to talk to camera. It's like, you think, what do I say? But I'm doing my best, and that's what I want to kind of transition into now, supporting others to achieve their goals. I suppose it's given me time to actually look back and reflect, and I have been incredibly blessed to do the things I've done. I've done it all on a plant-based diet. I've been vegan for almost 5 decades, so all my muscle mass has been built on plants, and to continue doing that, to continue recovering and repeating, I think is one of the biggest showcases of what you can do on a plant-based diet. Obviously not particularly with my running looking for PBs or anything like that now, but more to support others. And that's what I wanted to say. If I can help anyone along the way. I mean, for instance, yesterday a lady wrote to me from Italy. She's not a really serious runner, but she wants to do some ultra running. Can I give her some advice, or could I spare a bit of equipment, because I've got something shining on my head. It's like one of them scenes from The Omen. I'm moving. I'm not very good with light. Any equipment that I've got that I can share. I mean, I've got more backpacks for ultra stage races than you can possibly imagine. So anything like that I can do to help. That's what I kind of want to feature on now, because it's great to put people on pedestals and use them as role models, but it's great to also know that personally, in my instance, if I've achieved it, you certainly can. You've got so much more potential. I've got like no ability and a big disability for running. But it's not just about achieving with the running, it's about achieving with everything we do and advocating for animals in any way we can. So I'll get asked a lot of questions. Well, Percy does, obviously. I have to kind of interpret them for him. But one of the great things is what motivates me to keep doing it. And I can show you, I've had to kind of go through my life. It's been such a jumble and a hurry that I've never actually stopped to think why I'm doing things. It's not big calculated decisions or business formulas that I'm running. It's just what feels right at the time. So I've had to step back and reflect as to why I've done things. But it's not difficult for me to reflect on why I actually run. I want to help animals, and it's very easy for me to see, because I'll show you a little secret. Here is my gym where I do my training. Well, I do my speed work in here and various core strength stuff if we're getting all serious. But out here is the reason why I run. All the gang. Hello, Marley. Hello, Lou. Some of the cows over there, and what we've usually got here is a little nest of cows taking a midday nap before the serious business of dinner rolls in. Hello, Pancake. Where have you been? Oh, I'm not very good with this selfie stick. You'll have to excuse me. See, Pancake. Do it that way, do it that way. You're going to be camera shy now, Pancake, and go and look for your mummy. Pancake was actually born at the sanctuary. He came by default. His mother Gerda was going to be slaughtered, and she was 7 months pregnant, so they had to declare it. And by some kind of shenanigans with the vet, she was not legally in the sale that she was being put through. So he suggested that they try and find her a home, and she came to me. And then 2 months later, she bore little Pancake on Pancake Day. That's why it's called Pancake. And so we go up and see where the rest of the people are. I think we're waiting for the farrier today to come. So, are you sulking because the farrier's coming, Tilly? She's sulking because the farrier's coming. She doesn't like the farrier. Fred's very nice, but she doesn't like it for some reason. And then over there, that's Dolly. She's a very, very elderly shire, but she's cut her face, so she's in on unrest. And then up here, we've got some of the other gang that are all conglomerating around. So yeah, so it's not easy for hard to see why I train. I just get up and do it for these guys. The sanctuary has really been struggling actually during lockdown. It's a critically difficult time. I think when the furlough ends, when I'm out running, I meet people. I met a guy that he raises money for Great Ormond Street Hospital and is in contact with the consultants there, and he did say that they were frantically worried that at the end of furlough their donations were down in April, and they expected them to be down even more now that it's really beginning to bite. So obviously I'm reliant on donations and the charity of other people to keep the sanctuary going. And I just wanted to really thank everyone out there. See, I'm rubbish with all this. It's all one take Fiona. Call myself Elvis Presley. Everything's in one take. But obviously I haven't got his talent. But I just want to thank everyone out there, the club, and everyone who's supported us in our mission over the years. And people do ask, how can we help? Well, obviously fundraising via the various ingenious methods, including dressing as Percy Bear and running marathons during lockdown. That's genius. To just straightforward fundraising, or sponsoring an animal for a Christmas present, or come on Percy, get in, show. He's not selling his sweets, by the way, in case that's what you're thinking. That's definitely not on the agenda for Percy. But he's got his book and his DVD. As you can see, I'm not very good. Or a pair of these lovely, not these ones exactly, because these ones have seen quite tough times and stage wins in the Atacama crossing. So as you can see, his Will shoes, and they're still going strong. In fact, I was actually intending to wear these shoes. It's unheard of in multi-stage racing to wear the same pair of shoes for 2 multi-stage events, and I was actually going to use these in Marathon de Sable because they were so good and they got so much tread left on them from the Atacama Crossing, which was a brutal race. Train wise. Yeah, I mean, any of those ways, buy a pair of these, did I say out of help? Buy a pair of these shoes and we'll donate some of the profits to the sanctuary. So that's a massive help. But basically, be out there, be advocates for animals, do your thing, enjoy your running, and just remember that every day we're out there, we're vegan, we're running, so we're winning. And so times, distances, results, location, yeah, it's nice, but it's not the main thing. The main thing is, obviously, especially now, that we realise the things that are most important. And it's the same for us all humans and all animals. So it's the basic freedoms, food, water, shelter, no pain, and being able to be around each other. That's what matters. And that's what matters in the club which I'm very, very, very proud to be a member of and support and promote wherever I can. Yes, Percy's dying to tell people that he had an email from Tom Cruise's people yesterday. Yes, I know, I think they want him to be the next James Bond, actually, but I don't know. So yeah, I'm sorry we can't all meet up for the AGM. I'm even sorrier that I wobble with my selfie stick, but I'm not very good at this sort of thing. But what I'm not sorry about is being part of such a wonderful club and a group of people. And I hope to see you all very soon at a race start somewhere. So you take care. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful December month and Christmas if you celebrate it. And hopefully in 2021 we'll be out there en masse, wearing our hoodies and shirts and promoting what we all know to be the way forward for everybody, for each other, for the planet, for the environment, for the animals. Health is truly wealth. Remember that. Bye-bye.
Brilliant. Thank you, Fiona, for that. Go back into this and hopefully you can all see this. I'm just going to double check again. Apologies if this goes horribly wrong. 2020 has really put into sharp contrast how not good at technology I am. But a massive thank you to Fiona for taking the time to do that video. I think, you know, what she says at the end there is really important. It's all about getting out there, repping the club, raising awareness. So everything else is superfluous in many ways. But thank you again, Fiona, for that wonderful, inspiring video and to remind us all why we do what we do. All right, then let us move on. So this is a good start, isn't it? Okay, so the Treasurer's Report. This is from Tanya, the club treasurer. Again, I'm not going to read every single bit of this off. I'm going to pick out the real key information. If you'd like to pause it at any time, just to kind of so you can assimilate the information, please feel free. So just some quick highlights here. In February 2019, the club became an incorporated body and is now a company limited by guarantee with directors. The club directors are club secretary, the membership secretary and the treasurer. The accounts that we're going to share in this presentation are for 6 months from to the 29th of February 2020, as the first set of limited company accounts will be due the end of February 2021. And they also show draft accounts for the 6 months from the 31st of August in 2020 to enable a full year comparison with the year ended 31st of August 2019. So you can see that for comparison there. So for obvious reasons, income was down quite substantially this year. Fee income is down nearly £6,500 and kit income is down just under £21,000, a huge amount of money there. the club shop was shut for much of the year due to lockdown, and the club was sitting on approximately £58,000 worth of stock at the end of August. A recent stock take has been undertaken by Deborah and the kit team, and as at the end of October, we are still holding a similar level of kit. On a more positive note, we have donated £656.20 to Tower Hill and £170.80 to Animal Free Research from members who had paid for the Bristol 10K and chose to donate instead of receiving a refund. And also this year we have £96 to pay over to Tower Hill in donations from members, adding a donation to their annual fees. So as you can see there, guys, a massive decrease due to a huge part of that is kit. We know that the club shop was shut for a great period of this year. That is, the whole, we decided to do that as a committee because we have a duty of care to our members, and it didn't feel right sending people to the post office to post off bits of kit while all this was happening, especially as some of those members needed to be shielding and to be looking after themselves. Of course, going forward, we hope that that won't happen again, but obviously with everything that's happening in the world at the moment, we have to be prepared that this could potentially happen again in 2021. So the Sheffield AGM, moving back to over a year ago now, cost the club just over £1,000. That was for venue hire and tech support, and it came to £920, with the balance being a contribution from the club towards food and prizes. An exercise to trademark the Vegan Runners name and logo style was carried out, and during the year of a cost of a total £1,123. So some expenditure there as well. And here we just have a report. Again, I'm not going to read out all these figures for you, but if you'd like to peruse these in a bit more detail, please feel free to pause the video now and just have a look at those. As you can see, a breakdown there. And continuing here as well, now we're on to expenditure. Again, please feel free to pause the video to appreciate this in its full. Massive thank you to Tanya for putting this all together. I'm sure it's no mean feat. Again, we can see the balance as of 31st of August, 2020. Okay, thank you very much for that, Tanya. Moving forward, we're going on to the membership report. So, given the impact of COVID on running in all sports, it's no surprise that the current membership total of 2,447, and those people that are paid up till the 31st of March 2021, is well below the same time in 2020. During the 2019 AGM last September, it was reported that we had almost 3,500 paid up members. On the positive side, at the end of the previous membership year, so that's the 31st of March this year, there was approximately 4,600 paid up members, which is a club record. At the time of lockdown in March, it was to be decided that we would not accept new applications for membership via our system Member Mojo, and at the same time stop sending out renewal reminders or any other system messages. Later, we accepted applications by a downloadable form only. And when the restrictions were relaxed slightly in June, we opened up Member Mojo again, but we did send out those individual renewal notices. Members were able to sign to their accounts and renew without the pressure from the system. So again, we have a breakdown on the right hand side of our screen here, and some text on the left. So membership applications and renewals soon picked up, but obviously we are well down on last year's membership at the current time. As of the 31st of October, there were approximately 2,210 members who have not renewed, and normally there's about 1,500 or so who don't renew. So it's not all due to COVID. And then we have a breakdown of the membership by category. So female members, we have 1,369, men 1,059, and non-binary we have 9 members. England Athletics registration at the bottom there, up to the 31st of October, the club had 729 registered runners for the year, ending 31st of March 2020, and 545 registered last year, ending the 31st of March 2019, but not re-registered for the current year. So once again, numbers are reducing. So thank you for that. So again, we've got a membership achievement video.
Hi everyone, it's Lisa Gawthorne, one of the Vegan Runners. I wanted to put together just some thoughts about what I've actually achieved since being part of Vegan Runners, and also what's coming next for me in respect to future goals, etc. It's been a bit of a whirlwind tour over the last few years, to be honest, and since I've joined Vegan Runners, apart from the fantastic advantage of meeting so many like-minded individuals, and being surrounded by people that support the same cause, which I think is fantastic. The other side has been more related to personal performance gains. I've actually got my 5k PB down now to 18:39, and I've got my 10k PB down to 38:40, both of which I'm really proud of, to be honest with you, because I've really had to work hard over the years to ensure that I've got a good time like that, so I'm absolutely made up with that. Aside from that as well, during my time at Vegan Runners, I've also earned 2 England vests for my age group. The first of which was for road running, which I did a 10k in Birmingham for, and the second of which was actually an England vest for cross country, where I competed for my age group in Aintree last year, which is fantastic. So again, 2 England vests, just out of this world in way of much more than what I could have expected to achieve, and over the moon with regards to being able to achieve such great things over these last few years. During that time as well, I'm a multi-sport athlete, so I like to mix cycling and running, and during that time I've done 4 European GB championships, and I've actually done 3 World Championships as well. That would have been 4, but the World Championships this year were cancelled due to coronavirus. They've just gone from strength to strength. I'm now ranked, I think it's for European duathlon, I'm ranked 8th in the world, 8th in Europe, and for World Duathlon, I think I'm ranked 6th. It's either one way or the other round, but it's in the top 10 for both, and again, far exceeded what I would have expected, which I'm made up about. So in terms of what's next for me, I have already qualified for both the European and the World Duathlon Championships next year. The World Championships are going to take place in September in Almere in Holland. Not sure where the European Championships are going to take place yet. The location is yet to be determined, so we'll see what happens there. Over the last couple of years, I have won quite a lot of local 5Ks and 10Ks, and I've really enjoyed that. But to be honest, even though it's been tough this year, not having that many races, if at all, any to kind of really kind of throw yourself into, I've really just enjoyed heavy training and regular training, and also doing training that I really enjoy as well. And I think that really led to what I would say has been my biggest achievement in sport. I've only just returned 3 weeks ago from coming back from Madeira, where I went over there to compete in the European Masters Championships. So I ran in the 10k there, and I was crowned age group champion for my age group. So I came home with a gold medal for GB for that. And also was part of a team that came home with silver position. So another silver medal there. And then the next day we did cross country relays, and my team finished again in second position, so we came home with another silver medal. So I returned from those championships kind of adorned with medals, a gold and 2 silvers. And I was really made up with that, because the vegan press, who are very supportive of the journey and where I've been and what I'm doing and where I'm going, they've been all over that, and it's been a fantastic positive story to really belt out there and let people see that, you know, a vegan diet is absolutely nothing to be kind of, you know, ashamed of or kind of held back by. If anything, as I always say to people, it's like a Superman diet for me. And I think that a lot of people out there need to have that message drilled home, particularly with regards to sport, because I think there is this kind of commonly held belief that if you're on a vegan diet it'll hold you back, and it certainly doesn't. And obviously we're seeing a lot of that come through now in the mainstream press with some of the A-lister celebrities that we see out there across a number of sports. So next year, as well as doing the European and the World Championships for duathlon, I'm just going to be doing a lot more regular training as I have been doing in lockdown. I'm going to be quite picky on races that I go into and try and get fitter for specific big races like those European and World Championships for duathlon. But above all, I'm just going to make sure that I'm enjoying the training. And I'm going to be listening to my body and seeing what it wants. It's funny because some weeks I could just go out there and run 10 miles a day. On other weeks, my body just seems to crave speed and wants to do, you know, a 400 metre session or an 800 metre session. So I seem to have had quite a lot of good results by listening to my body and really kind of, rather than forcing certain sessions on myself, just training to how I feel. And that's certainly something that's worked well for me over the last few years as being part of Vegan Runners. So anyway, Vegan Runners itself is a fantastic community of amazing people, and I'm just one of many people that's got hopefully inspiring stories to pass on to others, and there's not a day goes by where I'm not inspired by another vegan runner. I love being part of the community, and long may that continue.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. Once again, during this transition, please bear with me. I totally appreciate that I'm probably doing this a really difficult way, a really peculiar way, but it's just in my head, that's what works. So yes, once again, a massive thank you to Lisa. A really inspiring story there as well, showing what you can achieve when you just eat plants. Who'd have thought it, eh? Right, let us continue on our journey across the AGM sphere, shall we? Moving on, we've got our welfare report. It has been a really busy year for our welfare secretary, Denise King. So I just wanted to take this moment to say a massive thank you for all that you do to the club. 2020 has been challenging, shall we say. But Denise has managed to accomplish many great things in the role, so let's celebrate those now. So since taking on the role in December 2019, the following has been completed. We've confidential safeguarding procedures, which are an ongoing part of the role. Liaising with other clubs' welfare secretaries as required to sustain safeguarding overlap. Updated the welfare, safeguarding and mental well-being policies. Updating the club code, creating a live tracking spreadsheet to monitor safeguarding certificates and training to ensure that these remain current. Appointing of welfare officers, appointing of mental health ambassadors, appointing mental health champions, monthly meetings to connect and plan ways to make the club's safeguarding and welfare services more robust. And of course, being the COVID officer as well has been a huge undertaking. And then she's listed a few things there that are in progress. So to source and appoint an equality, equity and diversity ambassador, to develop club equality and equity and diversity code, chasing relevant volunteers to undertake their DBS or required role training, getting club to appropriate safeguarding status to facilitate establishment of our junior section. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, for the things that hadn't been done since the last AGM, anyone who works with children will understand just what a huge undertaking that is to make sure that all safeguarding is up in support of working with young people. And the last one there is the monthly virtual meet the members meetings. Okay, very good. So some more membership achievements for us to celebrate now. So Andrew and Jamajin, I hope I said that right, apologies if I've mispronounced, have been on an adventure around the Isle of Wight. And I must say, some of the things you got up to are pretty incredible. So let's have a look, shall we? So they ran around the Isle of Wight, which is around 120 kilometres in 6 days, in just over 2 years, completing summer 2020. And here is their story. Being adventurous or lazy, we avoided running around 2 inlets. One was a 10-kilometre detour, not what you want. By swimming across, paying a passing boat to ferry our phones, shoes and gear, and then hitching a ride with a passing harbour master boat respectively. The first time we ended up on the beach in a remote part of the island below a firing range. Keeping a wary ear flapping for gunshots, good idea, we headed along a shoreline exposed at low tide, with seaweed-covered slabs, sand, sucking mud, and forests of fallen trees from landslips. But still, we avoided the detour. In the middle of nowhere, I spotted an inflatable shark halfway up the dune. The firing range was above the top. I climbed it, keeping my head down, and rescued it. That's the spirit of veganism right there. It still had a leash on it, because who doesn't put a leash on their inflatable sharks? And it had probably escaped from one of the yachts offshore. Feeling sorry for it, neglected as it was, we decided to take it with us. So I ran the next several kilometres hanging onto a shark, nearly as big as myself. I found it easier to wrap the leash around my neck. Eventually, this started to choke me. So we deflated and carried it on my backpack. About 10 kilometres later, we emerged, a lot rougher for wear, in the coastal town of East Cowes. Walking down the ancient cobblestone high street in the sun in our VR car kit in desperate search for a Coke. Other fizzy drinks are available, of course, or anything to drink. A man stared at us strangely and then came and introduced himself as head of the island Vegan Runners. It turned out he had a young son who would love an inflatable shark, and so the shark was finally rehomed into a loving home. And we even found a Coke. What an absolutely fantastic story. I absolutely love that. I mean, my favourite bit is the bit with the shark. But it's even so, it's an incredible achievement, guys. So a massive well done to the both of you. That sounds like a really exciting adventure to go on. Big well done. Here are some fantastic pictures they've taken as well. And they also found some dinosaurs, pirates, and the world's best crazy golf. Now, those are some fighting words, because I've seen some pretty good crazy golf in my time. I will have to go to the Isle of Wight and check it out. And they also highly recommend the circumnavigation route that they've undertaken. It does look incredible, guys, absolutely incredible. So anyone wants to try it, it looks well worth the trip. Right then, regional reports. So these are the reports from each of the different regions within the country. So let's have a looky-loo, shall we? So Greater London, we'll start with that. So again, lots of information here, guys. I don't want to sit here and read it all out. That's not to say that it's not important. It's just to make sure that we keep the AGM moving on and yeah, moving forward. So pick out some key bits and pieces here. So on the 25th of June 2020, we've got a new regional rep in Lena. Then Lena was sending out questionnaires to the members about things that were happening. Only 35 responses from 300 plus members. Nutrition top chart made communications questionnaire showed that people prefer email communication rather than social media posts. To improve connection, a private London members only Strava group was made, as well as a WhatsApp group as well. So local contacts for London requested, still hoping for some responses for that. Lena started creating and co-leading track sessions with VR London member Rakesh, Running club Urban Runners to practice leading future sessions with vegan runners in London. Running fitness course with England Athletics confirmed for the 10th of January 2020 for Lena to be able to lead sessions. That's great news. 17th of October 2020, Vegan Runners UK official Spotify account created and Autumn's playlist made collecting the choices of London's members. That's pretty awesome. That's really good. 1st of November 2020, participating in organising Vegan Sports Day, initiated VR UK members inspiration sharing on live Zoom calls on November the 1st. Had 6 speakers, 50 plus attendees, great feedback. A bit of a membership status update, got 320 registered members as of the 5th of November. November 2020, taking the lockdown as an opportunity to connect with London area through the virtual challenges. December 2020, hoping to set the first social run if restrictions allow. And in January, publishing set track and training times in London for Central London and South London. Just trying to take this opportunity to say that I hope all of our London members remain safe over the next coming weeks. Obviously being in tier 4 now, same with the Southeast members as well. I hope you all stay safe. So some pictures there. And the first time I saw this, I had a little bit of a moment because I know we're celebrating London Vegan Runners, but Scott Jurek, guys. I love Scott Jurek. I have a bit of a man crush on Scott Jurek. So I got very excited when I saw his face. Anyway, less about my love for Scott Jurek and let's continue. So the Northwest. So we've got a breakdown of the numbers there. As you can see, Manchester leading the way with 1,100 members in the Northwest. So good job, Manchester. Keep it up. And some other members scattered across the Northwest there as well. So the report here says that the membership has climbed steadily over the year, with Manchester taking a big lead in numbers. A massive thank you is due to AJ, one of the Manchester local reps, who has carried out all of the COVID-19 safety work to allow Manchester Group to keep running through the pandemic, which I know a lot of people are immeasurably grateful for. I know that says immensely, but I said immeasurably. Sadly, due to the issues caused by COVID and race event cancellations, we lost the Stockport takeover this year, but I'm certain 2021 will be massive. Yes, hopefully so. Fingers crossed that all gets to go forward in Stockport. We also lost the Hale 5 miler, which was they were in discussion to get the vegan Easter eggs for entrance in VR kit. They'll be reaching out again in the new year to try and rearrange and attempt to make it a regular club race. Moving into 2021, I'm hopeful to finally be able to get round as many local groups as possible to meet and shake hands with people, since this year became a washout. Looking for new ways and events to promote and grow the fabulous club. A very worthwhile goal indeed. So well done, Northwest. So Wales and West Midlands, the biggest event for the West Mids and Wales was the National Running Show in Birmingham. I was very lucky enough to attend that myself, and I can vouch that it was an incredible weekend there. The club were invited to have a stall there as part of the NRS's celebrations on plant-based diets. The Central Run Cafe went vegan for the event, and the show was well attended, and unusually most of the people who came to talk to us were not already members, but were new vegans or people transitioning that were looking for advice and guidance on how to successfully fuel their running with plants. Some notable visitors to the stand were Anna McNuff, Lazarus Lake, and Joshua Stevens, who, again, I have a bit of a man crush on him since I've started following him on Strava and Instagram, and he follows me back. He likes my post, guys. But no, really, some really cool people that we met there that just wanted to know about plants and running, which was fantastic. We did have a stand booked for the 2021 show. However, that has been postponed. We've had that confirmation through now, but we've begun to forge links with Swansea University Student Vegan Society. Members have given some Zoom talks on veganism and running, and we have several more sessions planned. We hope to collaborate with them in leading a Couch to 5K group for students. That's exciting news. I love this. COVID has put the kibosh on many of our planned events in Wales and the West Mids, and the rest of the world, in fact. and many have been pushed to 2021. We have sent cheer squads to some small local runs when and where we can, have participated in local virtual races, including the Richard Burton 10K, teamed up with 2 Minute Beach Clean to litter pick beaches along the south coast of Wales, and next year we'll be leading runs at the Love Trails Festival on the Gower. I've always wanted to go to that festival. I'm not a huge trail runner, but I might give it a go. Anyway, less about that and more about this. So as with elsewhere in the country, meeting up and participating in group runs has been challenging this year. This did not stop a lovely turnout at the Beachy Head running events, with several club members running the events and several more cheering them on as everyone else, despite some pretty torrid weather conditions as well. Overall, Intrepid members also completed the SDW 50 again in awful weather conditions. A massive well done to you guys, because that's horrible. 50 miles in that sort of weather. In August, Ellen Alsop came on board as the mental health champion for the region. Next year, the region hopes to welcome club members to meet up at Tower Hill Stables, and please keep an eye on your emails for the emails from the events coordinator. Thank you very much, Wales and West Midlands. So, running and the movement hubs. So there is a little section here about running and movement, about helping us run faster and further with less injuries. However, my computer doesn't like this. I'm not quite sure why, but I've been having some real issues with certain bits and pieces. So we are going to include any videos here in a separate link, I think, because I've just, as you can see from the previous videos I've played, I've had to come into my files section of my computer and play them differently, because they're not playing through PowerPoint and thus not showing up on Teams. Apologies for this, but we will include links in the description of this video, which will be uploaded onto the club's YouTube account, so you can watch these videos as is intended. Thank you to the people that have organised this, running the Movement Hub. I apologise profusely for the lack of my technological knowledge to overcome this particular problem. Okay, also some work videos there. Again, all these will be included in the these video links will be included in the description of the video. Apologies once again. So the club events report. So sadly, COVID-19 has meant far fewer events than this year in the last. We have managed to hold some virtual events, which were met with varying degrees of support and engagement. Our main in-person event this year was the National Running Show in Birmingham, as we spoke about in the previous slide, in the West Midlands and Wales. This event was well attended and coincided nicely with Veganuary. We had a lot of conversations with fledgling vegans, people who are transitioning to veganism, and people considering a move towards veganism. We talked about the benefits and impact of a plant-based diet can have on your running and your health. And we had a stand planned for the up-and-coming one in February. However, that's been postponed. We also had a stand at the Plant Powered Expo in London in February. This event was run by the team behind VegFest. It was quieter than the more familiar VegFest, but nonetheless, we managed to promote the club in a positive manner and were interviewed for several YouTube channels. That's good news. Over the last 6 months or so, the club has developed links with other vegan supporting organisations around the world. We partnered with the Green Gazelles rugby team to hold a virtual 10K fundraising for Tower Hill. This raised collectively almost £1,000. We've also taken part in the World Vegan Sports Day, which is a worldwide event aimed to run around the world. As we saw earlier, managed just over 11,000 kilometres, which was enough for one lap of the moon or to run from Lisbon to Tokyo. We're hoping that will become an annual event with vegans uniting to run further every year. July saw Vegan Runners UK celebrate Christmas in July. This event was not as well attended as we had hoped, which unfortunately led to the company who had initially said that they would provide prizes withdrawing from the sponsorship. However, nevertheless, we had a lot of great entries, and we as a committee enjoyed judging the very creative entries indeed. During December, we have been holding the 12 days of Christmas between the 1st of December and the 21st. It's going to complete 12 runs and an optional 12 challenges. Entry is £5, and all paying entrants will receive a small prize for completing the 12 runs. All paying entrants who attempt one or more of the 12 challenges will be entered into a draw for one of 12 additional prizes. These include signed copies of Fiona Oakes' new biography, amongst other things. Exciting news as well there, guys. Thank you very much, Karis. But let's look at what's coming forward, shall we? What's going to be happening in the future. So given the number of cancellation emails already receiving for next year, it looks probable that we'll be having fewer vegan fairs and similar held. As a result, we'll be shifting our focus to running events, volunteering our services as cheer squads and aid stations at outdoor events. And Karis also believes we need to make better use of the free stalls we're given at events and reduce our reliance on events where we have to pay for it to have a stall or a stand. Also going forward, Karis would like to know what you guys would like to see from the club stand at Camp Out next year, so vegan Camp Out. Unfortunately, we cannot supply a large amount of club kit to sell on the stand. Would people be interested in alternative items such as reusable coffee cups, water bottles, etc.? Karis also wants to know if people are interested in the virtual running events. If so, what do you want to see? Engagements with these events have been quite varied, and we would like to know why, really. So we're happy to organise events, but we want to make sure that they are what people actually want. And also, Karis has booked a weekend for the club at Tower Hill next July. This will obviously depend on lockdowns, etc. And Karis is looking for caterers, fitness instructors, and musicians who might be willing / able to donate their services. And if you're interested, you can email Karis. It's also looking to put together a directory of people who are happy to help out on the stalls at events. And as much as Karis would love to, she can't attend every event. And one of the biggest challenges she's faced with stores, etc., is getting enough people together to adequately staff them. And sadly, on a few occasions over the last year or 18 months or so, the volunteers have simply not shown up on the day. We do appreciate that life sometimes gets in the way of things, but just make sure that if that is the case, please let us know. We'd also like some volunteers who are happy to store a small stall kit and supply it as needed to members in their local area, e.g. hand it over at a park run, etc. Think like tip back. And again, please email Karis if you think you could help with this, and her email is there. But also, just to finally have a massive thank you to all those who have helped with events this year. It has been really fun, and we sincerely hope that we can do it all again in the future. And Karis just signs off there with saying, stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much, Karis. Yes, the events are always really good fun. If you get a chance to volunteer at them, it's well worth it. Yes. So we have another membership achievements here, and this is from Andrius. Again, guys, because of my computer not particularly working very well, I'm going to include a link to Andrius's video in the description of this. Needless to say, it's well worth a watch. As I said, we want to celebrate all of our club members' achievements, and it's just a short video that Andrius has put together. So thank you very much, Andrius, for taking the time to put that together, and a massive congratulations for all that you've achieved this year, and we look forward to hearing more about it in the video in the description below. So the kit team report. So volunteer safety has been our paramount concern this year, which led to the closure of the online kit shop for many months. I know that a lot of people will have seen that news and not been particularly happy about that. But for the vast majority of people have been super supportive and completely understand that we have a duty of care to our volunteers. So we need to make sure that they are safe and healthy. All of our volunteers store the stock in their houses and send it out via their local post offices. And the committee decided that we couldn't ask them to do this when it could potentially be risking their health. As soon as we were able to reopen, we did so as quickly and efficiently as we could. And we fulfilled almost 300 orders in the 7 weeks and 2 days before we had to close. Before we had to close again at the beginning of November for lockdown 2. So we have launched some new kit. We've launched a new lightweight running jackets in response to membership demand, and I must say they do look incredibly nice. I saw Bryn modelling one, and a very handsome he looked too. So we're going to be moving to some more eco alternatives. So following the positive feedback on last year's successful trial of the eco fabric for our t-shirts, we've decided to make the switch to permanent, and we'll be phasing out the old t-shirts made by Ron Hill. Once that stock is sold, we will work on moving all vests to the eco fabric as well. I have one of the eco shirts. They are excellent. A lot of questions that I see sometimes get asked by members is their breathability. But no, they're very, they're fine. Keep you warm in the winter, cool in the summer. They're great, really, really good. So that was my little personal tidbit on the eco-friendly shirts there. Show us your kit. So we're looking to update the online shop with some more representative photos of the items of kit we sell. And what better way to do this than to ask all of our lovely members to be our models. So we've asked for some submissions by email, and we'll be sifting through these and uploading them gradually to enhance the usefulness of the community feel on the shop listings. This is also to see, you can see what the shop, the kit fit looks like. And also just a chance to celebrate all of our wonderful, wonderful members repping the kit, doing what we do best in green and black. So the kit team have just said, as with all part-time volunteer teams, we struggle to react quickly to changes and suggestions. But if there is anything, if you've got a great idea and you think, oh, that's a really good idea, especially if it's easily achievable, please let us know. Definitely always looking for member feedback and always looking for new and exciting, innovative ways in which we could, as a club, can move forward. So a few bits and pieces to end with now then. So the 2021 AGM, we don't have a date for that. But it is most likely going to be in Bristol, assuming that the Bristol team are happy with that, which hopefully they will be, because it will replace the AGM we didn't get to have this year in person. So that will be exciting. So we look forward to hearing more about that as and when the time comes. Obviously, this will all be based on things turning back to a semblance of a normality. But of course, we will keep you posted with more information as and when we have it. So that is the end of the slideshow. I'd just like to take this moment to offer a massive thank you to all of our volunteers, to all of our members. I think I have already said it, but I'll say it again. It has been a very difficult year, but as a club, we have managed to navigate our way through it as best we can. Moving forward, hopefully we'll have more of an semblance of normality in 2021, but as ever going forward, our main concern, our main priority is the health and safety of our members. We as a committee, we know we don't always get things right, but we will try and be as transparent and open and honest with you guys as much as we can going forward. But in the meantime, let's try and focus on all the positive things that that are coming our way in 2021. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Tom Budgen. I was the chairperson. I'm not anymore. I'm just Tom now. Anyway. I hope you all have a fantastic festive season, regardless of whether you celebrate Christmas or not. Have a wonderful New Year, and I'll see you at a race sometime soon when it's safe. Okay? Take care.